good afternoon, or good evening, my beautiful hot messes. My name is Mistress Lavender, and today I'm reading The Artist Seduction by Robert Greene. I'm on page, I think, 164. My phone turned off, so I'm just going to start here. I'm going to pick a paragraph. Let's do the spiritual. But before we start, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn your post notifications on. I'm serious. Let's get to it. 164. The spiritual is not exclusively the religious or the occult. It is anything that will add a sublime, timeless quality to your seduction. In the modern world, culture and art have in some way taken the place of religion. These are two ways to use art into your seduction. First, create it yourself. In the target's honor, poetry that they have inspired you to write will always work well. Half Picasso's appeal to many women was the hope that he would immortalize them in his paintings. For ars longa vita brevis, art is long, life is short. As they used to say in Rome, even if your love is a passing fantasy, by capturing it in a work of art, you give it a seduction illusion of eternity. The second way to use art is to make it ennoble the affair, giving your seduction an elevated edge. Take your targets to the theater, to the opera, to museums, to places full of histories and atmosphere. In such places, your souls can vibrate to the same spiritual wavelength. Of course, you should avoid works of art that are earthy and vulgar, calling attention to your intentions. The play, movie, or books can be contemporary, even a little raw, as long as it contains a noble message and is tied to some just cause. Even a political movement can be spiritually uplifting. Remember to tailor your spiritual lures to your target. If your target is earthy or cynical, paganism or art will be more productive than the occult and religious piety. Spirituality, the love of God, is a sublimated version of sexual love. The language of the religious mystics of the Middle Ages is full of erotic images. The contemplation of God or the sublime can offer a kind of mental orgasm. There is no other seduction brew than the combination of the spiritual and sexual, the high and the low. When you talk of spiritual matters, then let your looks and physical presence hint of sexuality at the same time. Make the harmony of the universe and union with God seem to confuse the physical harmony and the union between two people. If you can make the endgame of your seduction appear as a spiritual existence, you will heighten the physical pleasure and create a seduction with a deep and lasting effect. The stars in the sky, objects of worship for centuries, and symbols of the sublime and divine, and contemplating them, we are momentarily distracted from everything mundane and moral. We feel lightness. Lift your target's minds up to the stars, and they will not notice what is happening here on earth. Chapter 20 on page 167, Mix pleasure with pain. The greatest mistake in seduction is being too nice. At first, perhaps your kindness is charming, but it soon grows monotonous. You are trying too hard to please and seem insecure. Instead of overwhelming your targets with niceness, try inflicting some pain. Lure them in with focused attention, then change direction, appearing suddenly uninterested. Make them feel guilty and insecure. Even instigate a breakup, subjecting them to an emptiness and pain that will give you room to maneuver. Now a reproachment or an apology, a return to your earlier kindness, will turn them weak at their knees. The lower the low you create, the greater the highs. To heighten the erotic change, create the excitement of fear. Keys to seduction. Almost everyone is more or less polite. We learn earlier not to tell people what we really think of them. We smile at their jokes, act interested in their stories and problems. It is the only way to live with them. Eventually, this becomes a habit. We are nice, even when it's not really necessary. We try to please other people, to not step on their toes, to avoid disagreements and conflict. Niceness in seduction, however, though it may at first draw someone to you, it is soothing and comforting, soon loses all effect. Being too nice can literally push the target away from you. Erotic feeling depends on the creation of tension. Without anxiety and suspense, there can be no feeling of release, of true pleasure and joy. It is your task to create the tension in your target, to stimulate feelings of anxiety, to lead them to and fro, so that the culmination of the seduction has real weight and intensity. So rid yourself of your nasty habit of avoiding conflict, which is in any case unnatural. You are most often nice not out of your own inner goodness, but at the fear of displeasing, out of insecurity. Go beyond that fear, and you suddenly have options, the freedom to create pain. Then magically dissolve it. Your seduction powers will increase tenfold. People will be less upset by your hurtful actions than you might imagine. In the world today, we often feel starved for experience. We crave emotion, even if it is negative. The pain you cause your targets then is bracing. It makes them feel more alive. They have something to complain about. They get to play the victim. As a result, once you turn the pain into pleasure, they will readily forgive you. Stir up their jealousy, make them feel insecure, and the validation you later give your ego by preferring them over the rivals is doubly delightful. Remember, you have more to fear by boring your targets than by shaking them up. Wounding people binds them to you more deeply than kindness. If you need inspiration, find the part of your target that most irritates you and use it as a springboard for some therapeutic conflict. The more real your cruelty, the more effective it is. There is something bracing about fear. It makes you vibrate with tension, heightens your awareness. It is intensely erotic. The closer you bring your targets to the edge of precipice, to the feeling that you could abandon them, the dizzier and more lost they will become. Falling in love means literally falling, losing control, a mix of fear and excitement. Never let your targets get too comfortable with you. They need to feel anxiety. Show them some coldness, a flash of anger they did not expect. Be irrational if necessary. There is always the trump card, a breakup. Let them feel they have lost you forever. Make them fear that they have lost the power to charm you. Let those feelings stir with them for a while, then pull them back from the precipice. The reconciliation will be intense. Many of us have masochist yearnings without realizing it. It takes someone to inflict some pain on us for those deeply repressed desires to come to the surface. You must learn to recognize these types of hidden masochists out there, for each one enjoys a particular kind of pain. For instance, there are people who feel that they deserve nothing good in life and who, unable to deal with success, sabotage themselves constantly. Be nice to them. Admit that you admire them and they are uncomfortable. Since they feel that they cannot possibly match up to the ideal figure you have clearly imagined them to be. Such self-sabotagers do better with a little punishment. Scold them. Make them aware of their inadequacies. They feel they deserve such criticism, and when it comes to it, with a sense of relief. It is also easy to make them feel guilty, a feeling that deep down they enjoy. Other people experience the responsibilities and duties of modern life as such a heavy burden. They long to give it all up. These people are often looking for someone or something to worship, a cause, a religion, a guru. Make them worship you. And then there are those who want to play the martyr. Recognize them by the joy they take in complaining and feeling righteous and wronged. Then give them a reason to complain. Remember, appearances deceive. Often the strongest looking people may secretly want to be punished. In any event, follow up pain with pleasure, and you will create a sense of dependency that will last for a long time. As a seducer, you must find a way to lower people's resistance. The charmer's approach of flattery and attention can be effective, particularly with insecurity. But it can take months of work and can also backfire. To get a quicker result and to break down most inaccessible people, it is often better to alternate harshness and kindness. By being harsh, you create inner tensions. Your target may be upset with you, but they are also asking themselves questions. What have they done to earn your dislike? When you then are kind, they are relieved, but also concerned that at any moment they might somehow displease you again. Make use of this pattern to keep them in suspense, dreading your harshness and keen to keep you kind. Finally, your seduction should never follow a simple course upwards toward pleasure and harmony. The climax will come too soon, and the pleasure will be weak. What makes us intensely appreciate something is previous suffering. A brush with death makes us fall in love with life. A long journey makes a return home that much more pleasurable. Your task is to create moments of sadness, despair, and anguish, to create the tension that allows for a great release. Do not worry about making people angry. Anger is a sure sign that you have your hooks in them. Nor should you be afraid that if you make yourself difficult, people will flee. We only abandon those who bore us. The ride on which you can take your victims can be torturous but never dull. At all costs, keep the target's emotion on an edge. Create enough highs and lows, and you will wear away the last vestige of their willpower. Symbol, the precipice. At the edge of a cliff, people often feel lightheaded, both fearful and dizzy. For a moment, they can imagine themselves falling headlong. At the same time, a part of them is tempted. Lead your targets as close to the edge as possible, then pull them back. No thrill without fear. I'm stopping at page 173. The next episode will be 174, chapter 21. Give them space to fall. The pursuer is pursued. But again, my name is Mistress Lavender. I'm reading The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. And remember, let me know what you think about this book and follow me. You'll obviously know your life is better with me in it. You know what I'm saying? And support me. My Cash App is down below. You're welcome. Bye.